The waters of Kelvara 9 were not supposed to exist. According to every geological survey, every atmospheric reading, every predictive model the Colonial Survey Corps had run, this planet should have been a barren rock circling a dying star. Yet here it was, a vast underground lake stretching kilometers in every direction, its surface glowing with bioluminescent algae that painted the cavern ceiling in shifting blues and greens. Caleb Ward descended through the alien water, his suit's headlamp cutting through the murk like a blade through silk. The readings that had brought him here pulsed on his HUD, an energy signature that defied classification, something organic yet impossibly powerful, buried somewhere in the depths below. Control? "I'm at 200 meters, Caleb reported, his voice steady despite the pressure warnings flashing amber on his display. "The signature's getting stronger," static crackled in his ear. "Copy that, Ward. Remember, you're only cleared to 300. After that, the pressure, I know the risks." Caleb had been diving Earth's oceans since he was 16, had explored the crushing depths of Europa's ice seas, had mapped trenches on worlds where the very water could dissolve human flesh. Fear was an old companion, not a master. The water grew colder as he descended. Darker. The bioluminescence faded, replaced by an absolute blackness that seemed to swallow his light. Then, at 280 meters, he saw it. Chains. Massive links of some crystalline metal, each one as thick as his torso, stretching down into the abyss. They glowed with a faint internal light, pulsing like a heartbeat. Caleb followed them down, his breathing shallow, controlled. At 320 meters, he found her. The creature was coiled at the bottom of the lake, bound by dozens of those impossible chains. Even curled in on herself, she was enormous, easily 30 meters from snout to tail. Her scales were iridescent, shifting between deep purples and midnight blues, and her wings, magnificent wings that should have carried her through alien skies, were pinned against her flanks by the restraints. But it was her eyes that stopped Caleb's heart. They were open. Watching him, ancient and intelligent and filled with a sorrow so profound it seemed to echo through the water itself. Tears, actual tears, leaked from those vast eyes mixing with the lake water, and Caleb understood with absolute certainty that this being had been weeping for a very, very long time. "Control," he whispered. "You're not going to believe this. The dragon, because what else could she be?" Stirred as he approached. Her mental voice crashed into his mind like a tidal wave, not heard but felt, resonating in his bones. Human. The word carried surprise, hope, and warning all at once. "You should not be here. They will come." "They always come when the chains are disturbed. Who will come?" Caleb moved closer, examining the nearest chain. The metal, if it was metal, seemed to phase slightly, existing partially in dimensions his eyes couldn't quite track. The architects. Those who bind. Those who fear. Her great head shifted, chains clinking in the silence. "I am Sarathan, daughter of stars, born when your son was young. I sang the songs of creation. I danced between galaxies. And for that freedom, for that joy, they imprisoned me here." Caleb's hands found the chain's connection point, a nexus where 3 massive links joined. His suit's sensors screamed warnings about exotic radiation, about quantum instabilities, about energies that shouldn't exist in baseline reality. He ignored them all. "How long?" 12,000 of your years. Give or take a few centuries, 12,000 years, chained in darkness, weeping alone. Humanity had a word for that. Unacceptable. "I'm getting you out," Caleb said simply. "Impossible. The chains are bound to the fabric of space itself. Even I cannot break them, and I have tried. Oh, human, how I have tried." Caleb smiled inside his helmet. "Yeah, well, I'm human. We specialize in impossible." He accessed his suit's toolkit, pulling out the quantum cutter he'd borrowed from the Corps' experimental division. The device hummed to life, its blade existing in 17 dimensions simultaneously. Technically, it was meant for cutting through exotic matter asteroids. Technically, using it in atmosphere, or in this case liquid, violated about 40 safety protocols. Caleb Ward had never been much for following protocols. The cutter bit into the chain. Reality screamed. The water around the contact point began to boil and freeze simultaneously, creating bizarre ice-steam hybrid formations. Alarm shrieked in Caleb's helmet. Above, he could feel something stirring, something vast and terrible becoming aware of what he was doing. "Come on," he muttered, gritting his teeth as the cutter burned through the impossible metal. "Come on, you bastard!" The first chain broke with a sound like shattering crystal and dying stars. Sarathan gasped, a sound that sent shockwaves through the water. As ancient bonds loosened, "They come." Her voice was urgent now, energized. "Human, flee! Save yourself! Not without you." Caleb moved to the next chain, then the next. His suit was failing, pressure warnings going critical, but his hands stayed steady. This was what humans did. This was what they had always done. They saw suffering and they ended it, consequences be damned. The cavern shook. Portals began opening in the water above. Geometric impossibilities through which things that had never been flesh began to emerge. The architects coming to preserve their prison. Caleb cut faster. "Sarathan," he said calmly, working through the pain as his suit's integrity failed and the pressure began crushing his ribs. "When I free you, you're going to have about 3 seconds before they close the portals. Use them, and you? Don't worry about me. Humans are tough." He cut through the final chain anchoring her wings. "Now fly." Sarathan exploded upward in a surge of power that had been building for 12 millennia. Her wings, finally free, caught currents that existed beyond the merely physical. She blazed with light, pure, joyous, defiant light, and her roar of freedom shattered the architect's portals before they could fully form. As the alien entities retreated, Sarathan dove back down, her massive form moving with impossible grace. She caught Caleb's failing body gently in her claws, then surged upward, breaking through the lake's surface and rocketing into the cavern's upper reaches. She set him down carefully on the shore, her healing magic already flowing into his broken body. Above them, through the cavern's opening, alien stars glittered like diamonds. "Why?" she asked softly. "Why risk everything for a stranger?" Caleb coughed, managed a pained grin. "Because that's what we do, humans. We see chains, we break them. We see tears, we dry them. We see the impossible." He paused, looking up at her magnificent form. "And we do it anyway." Sarathan lowered her great head, touching her snout gently to his helmet. "Then I shall remember humanity. And when I sing among the stars again, I will sing of Caleb Ward, who dared the depths to free a dragon." She spread her wings. "Ready at last to reclaim the cosmos. Just one thing," Caleb called out weakly. "Yes? Mind giving me a lift back to my ship first? I think I broke everything." The dragon's laughter echoed across the alien world like thunder and bells, and in that moment, the universe became a little less dark.